So, our first topic is shame. And we can see shame in Hagar. But I'm not trying to pinpoint anything on anybody, but I want us to look at how Hagar relates to modern day times because we can better understand other people. We can have more empathy to women who are going through things, and we may be able to understand maybe why we do things that we do. So, shame can put us in a bondage without the realization that it has ever happened. In Genesis 16:3, Sarai took Hagar, her Egyptian maid, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife. Now, I don't know about you, but to be given to another person against my will is violating, embarrassing, and shameful. With the changing of times, the same traumas still happen today, but in different means. For example, a woman may not necessarily be given away like in polygamy, but maybe she was raped, or maybe she has endured abuse, from her husband and just been silent about it, has been dealing with it silently for years. Or maybe it's a child who has been abused, whether mentally, sexually, or physically. I mean, shame is shame. We all have a story. We can relate one way or another, maybe not directly with Hagar or with shame, but maybe someone close to us. And this helps us better understand, I guess you can say. Some other examples are maybe a faithful wife who has endured infidelity. I mean, that's shameful. You're doing all you can to hold a marriage together and your spouse cheats on you. Maybe your spouse is a drunkard, a porn addict, a gambler, or a drug addict. That's embarrassing. Or perhaps maybe you're in the hot seat. Maybe something that you did caused the marriage to end. So it's not necessarily what other people do. Sometimes it's what we do to our own selves. It's our own choices. And the thing is, now you have women who are adults who still carry the remnant of unresolved childhood issues. These may be those who didn't grow up in a typical family home. More and more is happening nowadays. You can see that there are a lot of single parents. And you have parents who are absent either through divorce, through prison, or drug abuse. And then you have some who don't know either one of their parents. And these can be the orphans. These can be the ones who are in the orphanage or the ones who are placed in adoption. You know, they had to grow up different. They had to be a little bit tougher. They had to grow up faster. They seen things that a child who is secluded from those didn't. So their upbringing is a little bit different, and it makes their exterior a little bit harder. So the thing about shame is that it brings unwanted guests, and a few things that come along with shame are pride, embarrassment, and regret. But here's the good news, because whoever or whatever causes shame is about to get kicked out. It's time to serve the eviction notice. God wants you whole and he wants you healed. That is the good news. So we have some self reflection questions that when you get time, make sure you go through and answer them. I'm not going to ask you for your answers. If you want to share them, that's fine. If not, that's fine also, because we will discuss them later, and we may not necessarily, and we're not going to directly talk about your issue, but we're going to talk about what God says.